I'm Mark,
And I'm Josh.
and this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of July 27th. And surprise, surprise, another great week of comics. It's the last week of the month, which usually means we get an avalanche of good books, and we have that this week. So we'll start with Amazing Spider-Man issue 666, The Sign of the Devil. That's actually not the name of the series, but it is issue 666. This is the prelude to the big Spider Island event, which is going to be going on in Amazing Spider-Man and will supposedly be the biggest thing in decades. Really solid issue. I haven't read the last couple of issues of Spider-Man. My stuff to read has just been too immense, my stack, to get to Amazing Spider-Man, but I figured I'd jump back in with this prelude issue, and it was really, really good. Dan Slott has been doing an excellent job writing Amazing Spider-Man. He's been the sole writer for almost 20 issues now, and there's so much that happens in this book. I mean, it just went on and on and on, which is a good thing, but I just was amazed that this was, a $4 comic book, and there is so much story in here. So fans of Spider-Man, you don't want to miss Spider Island, and if you haven't been reading Spider-Man or you jumped off for a little while, this is the perfect jumping on point.
Sometimes a title tells you everything you need to know about a comic book, and that is the case with Terminator Robocop, Kill Human. It has Robocop, it has Terminators, they try to kill humans.
I don't think Robocop tries to kill, well, maybe bad humans.
Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah.
But no, it was a decent first issue. If you like the franchise or classic 80s action movies, it's definitely worth a look.
From IDW comes The Cape #1. This is, I don't remember if this is ongoing or limited. I believe it doesn't say. But there was a one-shot that came out a couple of months ago that I really enjoyed. It's actually my pick of the week that it came out, and I don't think any of you purchased it, which is really a crying shame because this is a fantastic series. It's not for the squeamish. It's not for people that want to read a feel-good, upbeat superhero book. But if you're a fan of Irredeemable, if you're a fan of The Boys, kind of darker, harder-edged superhero-type books, then this is absolutely for you. It's written by Joe Hill, who's the writer on Lock and Key, which is another one of my favorite series right now that needs to get more love from the customer base. Won an Eisner last week for Best Writer. Joe Hill won for Best Writer. So check it out. You do need to read the one-shot to jump into this, and we have plenty of copies of the one-shot, and we have plenty of copies of the first issue. So if you're looking for something different, I mean, it's just really solid writing. I mean, it's I would classify it kind of as a harder edge drama with superheroes or with a superhero. So I feel like I need to give you more to go on than that. I don't want to spoil too much, but there really is at this point only one hero that we see in here, and not even a hero, one superpowered being, and his power comes from this tattered old blanket that was made into a cape by his mother when he was a kid. That's why it's called the cape, and it gives him the ability to fly. Other than that, that's all you need to know, and this guy is he's evil. He is an evil, evil man, but it's so good. Really, read it, check it out.
Also a little more unusual, we have issue 1 of 3 of The Vault from Image. This was a fun kind of, treasure hunt. You've got this group of explorers who've located this underground vault that they think is going to be a treasure trove, and they have to deal with getting through layers of rock, getting funding, and infighting, and it was great. It had kind of an Indiana Jonesy feel, and there's a reveal at the end of the issue that made me very excited for the next issue. And you should totally check it out if you like fun stuff like Froster Broussard or Indiana Jones or anything.
The
Abyss, yeah, underwater stuff. Gene Hackman.
Any of the underwater, the Poseidon Adventure, anything that happens underwater. I love underwater movies, especially when they're action adventure, and this is a good underwater action adventure. X-Men Schism Book 2 of 5, and this is where we start to see the cracks in the relationship between Wolverine and Cyclops. Definitely the wedge is being driven between them, and it spins out of the first issue. So this is again setting up what may or may not be the future of the X-Men. Now, at San Diego Comic-Con last week, they actually dropped the hint that Uncanny X-Men, the new Uncanny X-Men, which is a result of Schism, does not feature Cyclops. So there's Wolverine in the X-Men, which is one of the 2 new books, and then Uncanny X-Men, and there's no Cyclops. So where's Cyclops? We don't know. He's still in this book. And this one's drawn by Frank Cho, and the artwork is outstanding. If you're a fan of Cho's work on the Ultimates or Mighty Avengers or his creator-owned stuff, you want to check it out. But Schism is rolling along, and we're seeing some forward momentum.
On the trade front this week, we have the first softcover volume of Avengers Academy. I've been singing this book's praises since it started. It's actually probably my favorite of the Avengers since the relaunch. It's written by Christos Gage, who's done a lot of good work recently. Basically, you've got a group of young people who were manipulated by Norman Osborn. He was trying to use their powers for evil, turn them into mini supervillains. So the Avengers, now that they're back in power during the heroic age, are trying to set kind of a, not a scared straight program, but a program where they give these people the guidance they need to prevent them from becoming the next generation of superheroes. And it's great. You've got a lot of infighting. You've got a lot of Avengers you don't get to see other places, like Hank Pym, Speedball's on the team, Justice, Quicksilver, and Tigra are some of the instructors at the university. And it's great. You know, we don't get a chance to see a lot of all new teams. Usually the teams are assembled from people that are kind of already in the universe. And all of the young students are new to this series, and I really enjoyed it. If you like kind of classic teen stuff or classic Avengers, it's definitely worth a look.
Detective Comics number 880, you're probably tired of hearing us sing the praises of Scott Snyder, but this is the second to the last issue of this run of Detective Comics. It's the issue 2 of a 3-issue arc. We do have more copies of the first part in. We got shorted by our distributor, thank you very much, with the last issue, but we got the rest of them with this issue. So you can still jump in and check it out. The Joker's back in full force, and there's some pretty big stuff that goes on in this issue. I don't want to spoil it, but you know, it involves Commissioner Gordon and his wife and Barbara and his son, who's been an ongoing character in Scott Snyder's run on Detective. And it's all coming to a head with the next issue, but there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in this. As I've said before, I think Snyder's run on Detective is going to go down in history as one of the great runs of Batman of the 21st century. And hopefully when he takes over Batman or launches the new Batman in September, we get some more awesome stuff. So check it out.
Also, out this week, SpiderMan Blue in softcover for the second or third time. If you're not familiar with it, SpiderMan Blue is part of the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale oeuvre that includes such things as Batman Long Halloween, Dark Victory, the other Marvel color books, Hulk Gray and Daredevil Yellow that Mark told you about last week. And it's really good. All of Loeb's stuff, especially from his collaborations with Sale, like Superman for All Seasons, has a very almost schmaltzy feel. I mean, there's a very emotional stuff going on, and this particular one involves Peter. It takes place at a non-specific point in time. It's after Gwen has died, and he's seeing MJ. I don't know if they're dating or married at that point, but and he sort of finds some things that remind him. So he's kind of sitting, reflecting on his relationship with Gwen, good Lord.
Yeah. With the good Lord.
With the good Lord. Sitting and reflecting on his relationship with Gwen, and you see a lot of flashbacks to the early adventure stuff, and it's just great. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, or if you just have the most tangential knowledge of Spider-Man, as long as you know who Gwen Stacy is and what happened to her, you can read this and really enjoy the heck out of it.
My pick of the week this week, Captain America and Bucky, number 620. This is the first issue where they've changed the title from just Captain America to Cap and Bucky. And it is the first in a series of flashback stories. And I wasn't really expecting to get a whole lot out of this, but after I read it, I understood, I guess, why I've been liking a lot of these back in the past tales of Marvel, such as the Red Skull series that Greg Pak is doing, and this Captain America and Bucky, because they're showing us aspects of those characters that we're not familiar with, that we haven't seen before. And in comics, a lot of times, there's a lot of treading over familiar territory, retelling the origin with minor changes, or showing us flashbacks of things that we were already familiar with. Everything in this book is new. It's stuff that we haven't seen before about Bucky, how he got to become Cap's partner, and the writing is so good. It's Ed Brubaker and Mark Andreyko co-writing, and Chris Samney on the artwork, and I love Chris Samney's stuff. The shadowing and shading that he uses in his artwork is outstanding. And to see some more of that, check out Thor: The Mighty Avenger, which was probably the best Thor series done all ages Thor series in the last couple of years, and got canceled way before its time. But both trades are available in that, and they're well worth it. But this one, I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know how much longer the series is going to be around, but this was a very, very solid issue and gave a lot of insight into Bucky as a child, and again, how he got to become Cap's partner, and I loved it.
And my pick of the week is actually a pick from over a year ago. Got Days Missing. Now this is from Roddenberry Press, allegedly based on a concept created by Gene Roddenberry. Maybe, why not? But it's amazingly good. You've got a variety of writers overtaking the series, and basically the concept is you've got this being who watches over Earth and its dominant life forms and tries to protect us, keep us from destroying ourselves or from being destroyed. And the first volume is 5 one-shot issues, each one taking place at a different crisis point when life on Earth could have ended. And it's awesome. The guy is an observer, and when he sees that we're in trouble, he comes down and he can live a day on Earth and then at the end take it back. So for example, if we have one day left, at the end of the day, a plague is going to wipe out humanity, something's going to break free. He spends that day trying to find a solution, and then when he takes the day back, the solution can be implemented, and he saves us. And it's just really good. We see a story set with Mary Shelley in the first volume, and it's sort of the Frankenstein mythology. We get a conquistador story in South America. We get there's a contagion outbreak, kind of like the movie Splice. Geneticists have delved too far and unleashed something, and they're just all very solid. And the great thing about that first volume is it ends with a cliffhanger that sort of throws everything into question that you read in the entire volume, which brings me to what came out this week, Days Missing Volume 2, Days Missing Kestis. And if you like the first series, you'll love this, and I can't say anything else without spoiling it for you, but it's awesome. And so is Days Missing Volume 1. If you haven't checked it out, you totally should.
And that'll do it for this week. As always, we appreciate you checking out the YouTube videos here. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/alteregomaniacs, and check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/alteregocomics, and of course visit us in downtown Lima to pick up all this cool stuff that we just talked about today. We'll see you next week.